Hi everyone, we from the group Kumbang Sesat Dalam Bunga, KSDB, would like to present the gatekeeping theory. Introducing myself and my friends who are behind the scene of the presentation. Let's get started.
Introduction of gatekeeping theory. The process of filtering information for publication or transmission is known as gatekeeping. It can be applied in various academic fields such as journalism, sociology, and communication studies. Originally, gatekeeping was focused on the mass media. The concept of gatekeeping is also related to the various aspects of the media structure. It involved the decision-making process involved in determining which sources are included in a story. Kurt Lewin introduced the concept in 1943. Besides the media, advertisers and media outlet owners are also involved in gatekeeping. According to Tim Voss and Pamela Shoemaker, the process of filtering information is central to the media's role in modern society. It involves crafting and culling information into a limited number of messages that can be sent to the public. Due to some practical considerations, limited time of space is available in any medium for delivering daily news to its audience. In any news organization, there is a news perspective, a subculture that includes a complex set of criteria for evaluating certain news. This news perspective and its complex criteria are used by editors, news directors, and other staff who select a limited number of stories to present to the public. Thus, staff in news organization become gatekeepers, letting some stories through the system but blocking others. This then limits, controls, and shapes the public's knowledge of the totality of actual events that occur in reality. Okay, next.
Gatekeeping is the process of controlling information as it moves through a filter. It is the process through which information is filtered by the gatekeepers. In other words, gatekeeping is the process of selecting and then filtering items of media that can be consumed within the time or space that an individual happen to have. The gatekeeping theory of mass communication is a method which allows us to keep our sanity. By consuming content that is most relevant to us each day, we can ignore the billions of additional data points that are calling for our attention. Gatekeeping theory describes the powerful process through which events are covered by the mass media, explaining how and why certain information either passes through gates or is closed off from media attention. For example, television broadcasting company evaluate a television program that is suitable for broadcasting to viewers in terms of sensitivity. The program will cut some scene or not be shown at all if there is a potential offense of sensitivity. Okay, next.
Kurt Lewin was a father of gatekeeping theory. He was born in 1819 and he died at 1947 at the age of 56. He was born in Mogino, which is such a small town, only for about 5,000 people live there. And Kurt Lewin, also known as a German-American psychologist, he's also well known as one of the modern pioneers of social organizational and applied psychology in the United States. Lewin expressed his field theory in the Journal of Human Relations in 1947. There were 2 articles of his field theory. In the first paper, Lewin created the above discussed concepts of social field. Lewin talked about the above things. In the second article, Lewin suggested about the gatekeeping. Lewin used the terms channels, section, posts, and gates to introduce his theory of gatekeeping in this context. For example, like American Housewives had significant influence on the family's independence in the late of 1914. So Lewin used the terms channels, section, posts, and gates to introduce his theory of gatekeeping in this context. Lewin also envisions himself as gatekeepers of civilization. After Lewin, the trajectory of gatekeeping theory, David Meningweg became the first studies of its kind in journalism quarterly. Gatekeeping has taken into both individual and cultural aspects in the decades after Lewin. Following Lewin, Shoemaker and Rees identified 5 levels of the study of gatekeeping, which are individual, communications, routines, organizational, social institution, and social system. That's all for me, so next.
Individual. An individual is a charge of their perception, personality, history, values, and life experience. For instance, the news piece is most influenced by the reporter who writes the report, while other senses only change some of the story's detail. The reporter speaks the truth. The second one is routine. A set of conclusion is drawn in line with widely established media standards, such as how important the news is, how it was gathered, and how it was edited. The subjects that are covered by the news and other media always follow a pattern for the media to follow. A timetable and time slot have been allocated for each category. The third one is organization. Internal elements that vary based on a certain organization's laws, ordinances, and standards. Media corporations each have their own political goals, beliefs, and propaganda. They must also follow a code of morality. In the news and other media products, there are certain elements of viewpoints and opinions from media organization. And the last one is additional media. Gatekeeping practices are influenced by outside pressures such as commercial forces, governmental forces, and so forth. What is published is heavily influenced by a variety of parties, including sponsors, advertising, governments, and other business having a stake in the media.
How to apply gatekeeping theory in our life individual. Filter bubbles. A filter bubbles is a personalized view of media messages that is created by algorithms and audio tools such as following or unfollowing people. For examples, if you only read blog posts that support your belief that these are agents and you unfollow anyone who disagree with this view, you may begin to feel like you are right as you are constantly feed media that reinforces your belief. Number 2 is news report. For instance, in the press or news section, the gatekeeper in this situation is the news editor. She or he must choose which news pieces in what formats will fare and which ones won't. These are few of the elements that will help the editor make a wise choice. This is also seen as a part of the gatekeeping duty because the editor occasionally rejects some news items because they violate the organization house rules or because they are unsuitable for publication. The last one is marketing. So when contacting a company about a product or service you are selling, you may have to first speak with a gatekeeper who decide whether or not to out in touch with a higher level employee. Knowing how to interact with a gatekeeper can help you prepare for a sales calls, deliver the correct information, and secure an appointment with company decision maker, also can increasing your chances of closing sale.
Next, how to apply gatekeeping theory in our life in group. The purpose of this gatekeeping is usually for good reason only. It's just that there are some of media that give incomplete information, so people don't like it. This gatekeeping can happen to our family member, classmate, in small group, and so on. In a legal environment, a gatekeeper parents is a parents who give themselves authority to select what kind of contact the student should have with the other parents. For example, a situation when parents have a problem with each other, there is some information that is not shared with their children. Gatekeeping is a process of regulating how quickly students process to a higher level of study in a classroom. The situation in the classroom where will be some information that the lecturer will not confide to the student. For example, the lecturer informed that there are 5 students who failed to get full mark in the last exam, but the lecturer doesn't reveal the name of the student.
Apply gatekeeping theory in our life or organization. An organization may have a person within a chain of communication operating as a gatekeeper with the power to receive information and decides whether or not information will be passed on, filtering information, reducing the content of the information, or blocking information flow. A gatekeeping activity is one that is carried out by a communication organization and its representatives. In a communication organization, a gatekeeping act begins when a worker learns about an actual or possible message for the first time and ends when a subset of those messages is conveyed to a recipient. For instance, there is a company that all information about the company does not tell its employees. Company A wants to merge with Company B, but only tell the good news to Company B. Maybe internal issues will arise when the two companies join together, such as employee issues, a lot of debt, and other problems. Groupthink is when regions, communities, traditions, political parties, organizations, teams, and other groups develop irrational strategies, decisions, rules, plans, actions, and designs in order to reduce social conflict within the group and foster a sense of connectedness and belonging among members. For example, groupthink is a condition where people become fearful of voicing dissenting opinions as they fear being seen as disloyal to the group. This can lead to irrational decisions being made as most people in the group disagree with the opinions of the group but are afraid to speak up. Groupthink is often created by those in positions of authority who monitor communication for signs of wrong thinking and attempt to ostracize those who exhibit such behavior.
Gatekeeping determines which information is selected as well as the content and nature of how information will be conveyed to the public. Gatekeeping process shape and produce various images of reality, not only because some bits of information are selected and others rejected. Gatekeeping was originally modeled as a series of linear processes within the mass media, and the flow information to the mass and social media began to interact. Gatekeeping helps us understand the ecology of the media market, in particular competition and cost. Gatekeeping will have in mind a need of the ultimate client for whatever would they produce.
Okay, so that's it from us about gatekeeping theory. Thank you guys.